Oblique Seville says he wants to be one of the top 5 greatest sprinters of all time. But my question is, shouldn't he want to be the number 1 greatest sprinter of all time? Just asking. And Justin Gatlin gives his perspective of what will become the biggest sprint rivalry of 2025. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. You do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops, you drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, first up, let me just tell you we have a new channel up and running on YouTube. It's called Peter Lloyd World of Wealth. If you want to go from zero to achieving financial freedom, trust me, check out that channel. We break down wealth creation in the simplest terms a primary school student could understand. Go check it out, Peter Lloyd World of Wealth. So, let's start with 2 of my favorite non-Jamaican female athletes. One, of course, is ANNA.CROCKREL. Stunning beauty and immensely talented, super intelligent young lady who represents the United States of America, and who we call cousin Dina Asher Smith, another stunning beauty, Great Britain's fastest woman all time at 100 and 200 meters, former world champion, mega talent, and happens to be of Jamaican descent. Her mom is Trini and Jamaican, and her dad is Jamaican. Both young ladies were hanging out recently. The Paris Olympic Games silver medalist in the women's 400-meter hurdles finals, ANNA.CROCKREL, shared on her social media, incredible 2 days in New York celebrating the release of Look Good, Feel Good, Play Good, Nike apparel, and a year in time. Many thanks to Nike women, etc. This young lady is such an immense talent, huge fan. And of course, then there's Dina Asher Smith, who shared this on her social media. A year in at time, featuring a VVIP performance from Elton John. And yes, people, we're going to show you Elton John, but you can't hear him sing because of clear copyright issues. Nike doing it really, really big, people. Really, really big.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Now, as you know that Justin Gatlin has a podcast up and running that I really, really enjoy. I featured that podcast several times here. And he takes on a subject that I'm going to be talking about in a few. The biggest sprint rivalry that we all anticipate for 2025 should both young men be healthy. Of course, that will be the men's 100 meters, and the rivalry, of course, will be the gold medalist and silver medalist from this year's Paris Olympic Games in the men's 100 meters finals. Of course, we're talking about none other than Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, the fastest man in the world for 2024 with that astounding 9.77, which he ran at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, in the finals of the men's 100 meters at the Jamaican National Championships. And of course, the PB of the Olympic gold medalist in the 100 meters, America's Noah Lyles, which of course ran 9.79 in that finals. Undoubtedly, this is going to be the rivalry for the 2025 season in the men's 100 meters, because it was very evident that Lyles literally eked out a win. And I've said repeatedly, I'm going to keep saying it until whatever, that had that 5 minutes where they are standing up not occurred, Kishane Thompson would have won. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. And I do believe that naturally of the two, Kishane Thompson is the fastest. But Justin Gatlin, who is a brilliant analyst himself and his co-host, give their take on this rivalry that we all anticipate for 2025 in the men's 100 meters between Noah Lyles and, of course, Kishane Thompson. Justin Gatlin shared on his social media pages, the sprint world is changing right in front of our eyes. Young athletes are starting to prime, and primed athletes are starting to become seasoned vets. The road to 2028 will be very interesting. Here's his take.
Iron sharpening iron in that situation. I don't know who's going to break it up between Noah and Kishane, but I'll let you know right now, the world is sharpening their knives. They getting ready for that fight because they know just last year how close it was to win. It was damn near a blanket finish. It was that close to win. So if that means that I need to just work on my start a little more, work on my acceleration a little more, I hope those guys who didn't get a chance to get on that podium, or the ones who wanted to get on top of that podium, I hope they really realize you just got to work 10% harder. That 10% is going to make a big difference for your career, bro. If you see that you lost because of that, or you won because of that, that's a game changer.
No, the fact of the matter is I agree with everything he just said, because you all know that was the fastest. Well, if you don't know, I should tell you that the Paris Olympic Games men's 100 meters finals, where Kishane Thompson came second by by a hair's breadth, and Noah Lyles won, is the fastest recording 100 meter in history in terms of all the athletes. Of course, it's not the fastest because that would be the world record run by Usain Bolt. But in terms of all the athletes ran sub 10 seconds, it was an incredible display. And even Oblique Seville, who will be the next person we talk about, who got injured in the middle of that event, I think he ran 9.91 or something like that. It was just an insane thing. And he's also right. And I've said it in several videos, that at this level, at this elite level, the difference between athletes at this level is really more psychological than it is anything else, because most of these athletes are capable of running insane times. Really interesting perspective. I really enjoy this podcast by Justin Gatlin. Very, very informative. So, who do you think it's going to win? Do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be between Kishane and Noah Lyles, as most of us believe, or do you believe someone else, like the young man from Botswana? You all know who I'm talking about. Tile Tebogo. Will he be the spoiler? Will it be Oblique Seville? I mean, who will be the spoiler? Because it was an insanely incredible race. So, talking about Oblique Seville, let's get into Oblique Seville. In what I believe was a Jamaica Observer interview, Oblique Seville said something really interesting. I'm going to see if I can find the quote here. He says in the interview, Oblique Seville says, I know, quote, I know that I can be the top 5 fastest in the world of all time. And of course, his personal best is 9.81, which he delivered at the Racers Grand Prix, if my memory serves me correctly, beating Noah Lyles in the process last year. Well, not last year, this year in 2024 at the National Stadium. Now, the top 5 fastest, of course, include Usain Bolt with a world record of 9.58, Johan Blake with the second fastest over the 100 meters, 9.69, Tyson Gay the same time, 9.69, so they tie for second. Asafa Powell, 9.72, and Justin Gatlin, 9.74. So those are technically the top 5 fastest times in this distance. And Oblique Seville is saying that he believes he can become top 5, which I think is admirable, very admirable.
Lane 7, Kadrian Golson, and Lane 8, Josephus Lyle. The last event of Racers Grand Prix 2024, the 100 meters for men.
This event to pull the curtain down on the 6th staging of the Racers Grand Prix, the men's blue ribbon event, a marquee event. The set position. Lyles got a cracking start. Hughes, Seville, and Oman Yala trying to stay with them. Seville is running a stout race. Lyles coming back. Oblique Seville produces a stunning performance. Big performance on the big occasion. That was a stunning, scorching, and
of course, Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. First up, let me just address the elephant in the room. Can Oblique Seville become top 5 in the world in terms of top 5 fastest time in the men's 100 meters? Yeah, I kind of think that's very obvious to anyone of us here who's watching. In fact, I personally believe had he not had injury issues in the last 2 years, yeah, indisputably. Oblique Seville is exceptional talent. If the great Glenn Mills said he believed he can challenge Usain Bolt's world record, which he actually said about 3 years ago, if my memory serves, 2022, or 2 to 3 years ago, 2021 and 2022, he did say this, and everyone reported on it. Can Oblique Seville become top 5? Yes, there is no question. In fact, I really believe that of that men's Paris Olympic Games 100, that the top 5 men there can be, all of them have the capacity to be within the top 5 of all time. But here's something I'm going to bring up, and some of you may be offended, may disagree, but here's my take. I'm of the opinion that at this level, the difference between Oblique Seville and a Kishane Thompson and a Noah Lyles is in your head. It's nowhere else, it's just in your head. Kishane Thompson, yes, there's technicalities in terms of execution, better coaching, better technique. I'm not going to say that does not matter, but I'm saying at this level, if you are running anywhere between 9.70 and 9.85, you are up there. And we have seen Oblique Seville consistently lower his time, because remember, Oblique Seville is still a very, very young, very, very young man. And like I said, what happened in the last 2 years is injury issues this year and injury issues last year in 2023. So indisputably, he can become top 5. But my real question is, why does he want to be top 5? Now, I've always gotten the impression that Oblique Seville is a very, very conscientious, kind-hearted, funny, smart, multi-talented, disciplined young man. So he's very, I'd almost say humble. Almost. I mean, I've never really seen him boast. I've never seen him. The closest thing to showboating I've ever seen was that race when he ran that 9.81, his new PB, and beat Noah Lyles, when he looked back at him crossing the finishing line. So he's not really a showboater. But here's my take, and just follow me, just bear with me. So I'm a huge fan of this young man, Oblique Seville. But I think his ambition should not be to be top 5. His ambition should actually be to be the best. I kind of think that's the difference between a Noah Lyles, a Usain Bolt, a Gatlin, and a Oblique Seville. His ambition should be, I wanted to hear him say in that article, I will be the best. I want to be the fastest 100-meter runner all time. I didn't want to hear him say I want to be top 10, top 15, top 5, top 3. No, I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to hear this young man say what I know he can accomplish. I want to be the fastest. Because the truth is, people, if you don't have that vision, if you can't see it, if you can't verbalize it, if you can't say it, there's going to be an issue. I've said repeatedly, the reason why Noah Lyles has been winning is not because he's the fastest, not by a hair's breadth, not even close. He barely won in Paris, and he barely won last year in the men's 100 meters. He's talked himself into this. He believes this. He sees it. I wanted to hear Oblique Seville say, my ambition is to become the fastest 100-meter sprinter of all time. I know that's going to be very difficult because 9.58 is a heck of a time, but I believe I can do this. Shouldn't his ambition have been to say, I want to be number 1? Number 1, not top 5, not number 2, not number 3. Top 1, number 1, top dog, el número uno. I think it's a difference. I mean, it makes a huge difference to me personally. I don't think Usain Bolt ever said, I want to be top 5. I don't think so. I think the difference between a superstar sprinter and a great sprinter is how you see yourself. Oblique Seville can become the fastest. I know some of you are going to laugh at me, but I believe that. But Oblique Seville has to believe it. And this is my problem. One of the things I like about Kishane Thompson is that Kishane Thompson said after that Paris run, I know what I'm capable of. Kishane Thompson knows he can be number 1. Oblique, you are an incredible athlete. You can be number one. So I don't want to hear you say you want to be top 5. Say I'm going to be number 1 and believe it. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your take. Now, don't forget to check out our new channel, Peter Lloyd World of Wealth. We break down the acquisition of wealth in the simplest form, like a primary school student could understand. And it's specifically for people in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless us!